So here I've created already an alert dialog box through the use of an alert box builder. Created this builder and set a message. Do you want to delete? And then I've created a positive button, and I'm going to create a negative button. And as you see, I set up this dialog box cancelable as false, so there will be no cancelable button. So I'm creating now the positive button. It's a new dialog interface on click listener. So now you're more familiar, I'm sure, with the concept of listener. In this on click listener, so when I click on the yes button, I'm just moving the code that is removing the item from the list. I'm gonna set a negative button and add it to the builder. So no. Now same thing, a new dialog interface on click listener. Just made a small mistake, and let's see. Okay, I mistyped something. Okay, now it's fixed. I'm adding the unimplemented method, which is also, of course, an on-click method. And the only thing I'm going to do here, if the user click on no, the only thing I have to do is actually to remove this dialog button, dialog.cancel. Okay, perfect. Now we gave instructions to the builder, and we have two choices. First, we can ask the builder to build an alert box object that we'll be able to reuse in the future. Or we can ask the builder to build the dialog box and show it. So in the case you want to create an object that you're going to reuse in the future, you're gonna do so create an alert dialog object. We'll name it alert, and it's going to be equal to builder create. And if I want to use this object, I can do alert.show. But in this example, it doesn't make any sense to create an object. So we can use the second method, and we're going to ask the builder to create the object and to show it. So builder.create, I guess builder.create.show would make sense, but there's a quick shortcut here. You can just say builder.show. So builder.show. Now let me save it, and let's run that. So I have my list. I click on first names, and I will long click now on Alyssa, and I have my do you want to delete this name? I long click on Hannah. If I click on no, the box disappears, and if I click on yes, as you can see, Anna has just disappeared. So I didn't show you everything you can do with dialog box, because you may want to build more complex dialog box with more choices. And now I'm going to direct you to the Android developers page. So developer.android.com, and you have the reference manual. And you see that here I'm in Android app, and in the alert dialog object. So you see the different parameters, the different instructions you can give to the builder. So that's really technical, and some developers like to see reference documentation. Other developers prefer to see samples, and that's in the developer guide. It's maybe a little bit more technical, a little bit more plain text explanations, and so you have samples and screenshots. A dialog box that looks like the one we have created, and more complex dialog box. You also have here a progression dialog with some explanation and the code itself, a progress bar, and even more complex called a custom dialog box. With what we have seen so far, you should be able to read this documentation and understand it, and also use it, of course. So I would suggest an exercise for you. Take a piece of paper and draw maybe a first very simple dialog box, a more complex dialog box. Go in the documentation, check what you need, check how to do it, and then you can go in Eclipse and write the code to create this application on your phone. So it's very important to know how to use this documentation. And here you go. You can now build your very first application from A to Z.